Hello, it's Mrs. Trombley, and it is time for some math notes. You're going to need your math unit 3, packet number 3. We were working on this yesterday, and yesterday we did the part 1 of lesson 9, and we want to finish that up with all of the word problems today. So you need this packet in front of you, and you need a pencil. So we're going to flip to the last page. So this is what we did yesterday. And this page says guided examples. The first example is 1/6 of an extra large pizza. That's where you want to be. So get there, press pause if you need to, and then join me. All right, so we are going to be looking at some examples, and some of these are going to, they're going to fit into one of those 3 problems that we saw yesterday. It says to write an equation, then solve. When possible, express your answer as a whole or mixed number. So that just means simplify it, please. All right, there is 1/6 of an extra large pizza left over in the refrigerator. So people ate 5/6 of it, there's 1/6 of it left. If 3 friends want to share the pizza equally, so equal sharing, that's division, what fraction of the whole pizza will each person get? So I have 1/6, I have 3, and I think the toughest part here is deciding, okay, which one goes first? And I want you to think about what's the thing that you're sharing. Okay, what do you have that you're going to be dividing up? It's this pizza. We have 1/6 of the pizza, so that's what we start with. We're sharing that between 3 people. So I'm dividing the 1/6 of a pizza up between 3 people. So 1/6 divided by 3 is the problem that we're solving. You can draw a picture for that, right? We could draw the hole. We could cut that hole up into 6 pieces. And this would be 1/6, right? 3 people are sharing this much. So I would cut that into 3. Each person would get 1 piece. And remember, we had to divide up all of them into thirds then, and we would have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 pieces. So 1/6 divided by 3 is 1/18. And the way that we saw we could do that is to use the inverse operation and take 1/6 times the reciprocal of 3, which is 1/3. So 1 times 1 is 1, 6 times 3 is 18. So each person gets 1/18 of the pizza. All right, next one. 1 lap around the track is 1/4 of a mile. Josie wants to run 5 miles. How many times does she have to run around this track? Okay, so I want you to kind of picture this like 1 lap around, 1/4 of a mile. She wants to go 5 miles. So I'm basically asking you how many 1/4s there are in 5. And to figure out how many 1/4s there are in 5, that would mean I would take 5 divided by 1/4. I want to know how many 1/4s there are in 5. So with this, I can keep my 5 and multiply by the reciprocal of 1/4, which would be 4/1, which is also 4. So 20 times. She has to go around that track 20 times. All right, letter C. Oscar's aunt lives 50 miles away. This is 6 times as far as Oscar's grandfather lives. How far away does Oscar's grandfather live? Okay, now this is a little bit different. Oscar's aunt lives 50 miles away, and it says this is 6 times how far Oscar's grandfather lives. So whenever you see the word is, that means equals, right? So Oscar's aunt's 50 miles is 6 times as far as Oscar's grandfather, and it wants to know how far Oscar's grandfather lives. So we don't know. All right, so let's call this unknown, like, how about G for grandfather? So Oscar's aunt lives 50 miles away. This is 6 times as far as Oscar's grandfather. How far does grandfather live? So we're trying to come up with an equation. Let's write out what we have. We know that when it says this is, and this is referring to the 50, so 50 is 6 times whatever Oscar's grandfather is, but we don't know. So I'm going to say 6 times G. So this equation right here if we can figure out what G is going to give us how far away Oscar's grandfather lives. But this is kind of strange because can I multiply 6 by something to get 50? No. So if I want to know 6 times what is 50, I can use division to help me figure that out, right? So we can take 50 divided by 6. Now, do we know what 50 divided by 6 is? No. I do know that it's not going to come out to a whole number, so using our inverses will probably help a lot. So let's do 50 times 1/6. And 50 times 1/6, I would put a 1 underneath my 50. And when I see 6 and 50, I know they're both even, so we can cross simplify the 50 and the 6. So 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 50 25 times. So we're left with 25 times 1, which is 25, and 1 times 3, which is 3. Now we just need to simplify that. So 3 times 8 gets us closest to 25. It's 24, right? And we need 1 more to get to the 25. And there's my denominator. It stays the same. So the answer would be 8 1/3 miles. 8 1/3 miles. And think about it. If I took 8 1/3 times 6, I'd probably get about 50, right? Well, exactly 50, because 8 times 6 is 48, and then I have another third that I'd have 6 times. So voila. I know, that was a tricky one. All right, letter D. Brandy has 3 goldfish. This 3 is 1/5 times as many as Sam has. How many does Sam have? We don't know how many Sam has. I'm going to call it S. So right here, this one's very similar to the one we just did. Brandy has 3 goldfish. This is, so 3 represents this, is 1/5 times as many as Sam has. So 3 equals 1/5 times whatever Sam has. Now, you might not know 1/5 times what gives me 3, right? So in order to solve for the unknown, we can go ahead and do 3 divided by 1/5. So 3 divided by 1/5 is going to give me what Sam has. And when we want to divide by this fraction, we learn we can use inverses. So I can do 3 times the reciprocal 1/5, which is 5. And we get 15. Sam has 15 goldfish. That's a lot. I wonder if they're all in the same tank. All right. Letter E. If 1/8 pound of uncooked rice makes 1 serving, how many servings are in a 15-pound bag of rice? So I am asking you how many 1/8 there are in 15. If I want to know how many 1/8 there are in 15, I need to take that 15 and divide it by 1/8. So let's see here. What should we do? Hopefully you said, do the inverse, Mrs. Tremblay. Multiply. So I can go ahead and I can take 8 because the reciprocal of 1/8 is 8/1, which is 8. And now we have to do 15 times 8. And there's a couple different ways to do this. If you could say, well, I know that 10 times 8 is 80. And, sorry, not 10. And 5 times 8 is 40. And 80 plus 40 is 120. That's one way to get your answer. You could also set it up in your standard algorithm, 15 times 8 like this, and 8 times 5 is 40, and 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12, 120. Either way, we get 120 servings. That's a lot. It's a lot of rice. All right, that's it for our notes today. Thanks for watching.